What other multiplayer things were there? I mean, Scrap Mechanic was definitely, like, really enjoyable. It just dragged on so long, it was kind of hard to... I love games, but after about 50 episodes, generally a series needs to die. For me, the ideal, like, series length is 10 to 30 episodes. Longer than that, and it has to be an amazing game for me to want to keep playing it. And shorter than that, sometimes it gets a little bit too short. There are some games that just end way too soon. What was a game that I picked up recently that, don't know. Whoops. Anything over here? Yeah, there is. Now that's how I get out of here. So what upgrade am I learning today? I don't think any of this was worth it. Maybe it was. We'll see. Let's see if there's an alternate way around that does not involve harming myself. It's really hard to hit these guys. I was really hoping I could get a... I guess if you surprise them, they just die? Okay, well okay. So we don't have to worry about it that much, but now we've got effectively mini-boss McGee there. Never mind, no mini-boss McGee. Got anything up here? Yeah, we do. Should probably go back to the previous dungeons and make sure I didn't miss anything along the way. If I played Sultan Sanctuary? Yeah, I have. Sultan Sanctuary is great. Okay, so we have Dynamite. Sultan Sanctuary was an amazing-ish game. It had a lot of really neat mechanics. The boss design got a little bit fiddly, though. Just gonna put that there. Instead of, like, risking myself too much. Cool. Okay, so we can get Water Seal. No problem with this. Do we have anything else? We must. No more money in here, though. There's no more money that looks like. Yeah, nope. Look at how there's just like a nuclear bomb filled with booze. This is a weird game. Oh, hey, I'm back up to full health somehow. When that I don't know how that happened. Might have been because I killed a dude and got some loot from it? Whatever. But yeah, Sultan Sanctuary was great. I think it does kind of fall into the same vein of a game that It falls into the same vein of a game that I actually really wish I had, I really wish I had somebody to play with multiplayer. But I never got the opportunity to do so, because it was local, and it came out at a time where, I wasn't living near anybody. Let alone somebody that would actually play it with me. I feel like this game's almost like the sequel to Wasted. I don't know how many... Oh, right. I don't know how many of you guys remember the game Wasted. It was like a first-person shooter set in the post-apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic America, I think, but like also crossed with Idiocracy, which was kind of an amusing. It was an amusing setting at the very least. I liked it a lot. I don't know exactly why I'm coming back up. No, I've only got 95. Oh. Getting you ready for something. Sorry. More dialogue. Every time we do a dungeon, we get more dialogue, and then I forget about it. There's scarce trace of shiners up there. Left up there. Seeing what humanity looks like nowadays, it's hard to share your uncle's beliefs. That shiners had a part in the birth of the first steambot. If true, what else were they capable of back then? Oh, what do you have then? Okay, so we can buy more dynamite if I want to. Sturdy armor, dual tank. Nah. None of these. Okay. He always ordered some strange stuff. Unless useless things like copper tubes and nonsense. Okay, yeah. Once again, forgetting dialogue because I'm just kind of in talky mode. Alright, yeah, so let's get water seal and let's get gold pickaxe. They're worthwhile. Let's keep going down. But yeah, Wasteland was really a really interesting game. But the setting was just like effectively everybody was stupid and drunk all the time. And, you know, effectively all the smart people died somehow because they're the ones that went into the vaults. Turns out the vaults got irradiated first, and so the stupid people managed to live through the post-apocalypse instead, which had interesting consequences. It's a fun game. Unfortunately, I get really mad at the developers, and I totally forgot about this, but the developer for Wasted, actually, he stopped working on Wasted. At least for a while. I saw a post on, I think it was his Twitter or something like that, where he was like, I should probably be working on Wasted, but instead I'm gonna keep working on freelance programming. And I'm like, you don't just put a game out on Steam like early access and then just abandon it for a couple of months so you can go back to contract work. Like, I don't know. I totally understand developers are like real people, and it you know actually costs money to stay afloat as a developer. It just feels like a small betrayal to see a game go on early access and then they're like, well, I'm not gonna work on this anymore, bye. Almost immediately. It's just like, no, just give it some time at least. Adult Swim, not necessarily reputable. Well, Adult Swim's the publisher. They're not actually the, Adult Swim's the publisher, not the developer. There are fairly distinct differences between publishers and developers. All they do is effectively just make sure it's going to get through Steam. And nothing more. Which is totally fine, and I actually am glad that Adult Swim does that. Because it more or less guarantees, not quality, but like it guarantees that a certain level of quality. It's just, it doesn't actually like, it's not like a standard game design company where, you know, if you're not pushing updates and stuff like that, you lose your fan base or you get fired. These are just like indie guys that, I mean, there's no guarantee that they are. There's no guarantee that they're gonna keep working on that project. There was a game, I don't even remember the name of it necessarily, but Keith had picked it up. Dungeon Dashers, that's the one. Keith had picked it up a long time ago and had in part suggested that I'd pick it up and play it. And it was like one of the only roguelikes Keith had ever gotten. And so I was just like, yeah, heck yeah. The idea of a turn-based cooperative, you know, strategy, RPG, roguelike, whatever you want to call it. I think it was Dungeon Dashers. Dungeon Rushers? Dungeon something or others. I guess I might as well kill these guys while we're here. Ow. Wow. Ow. Damn. Note to self. Don't screw with TV. Don't screw with TNT. That's the word. Might want to bring a teleporter in here. Just because. But, I don't even remember what I was ranting about. Wasted, just being kind of disappointed that they immediately gave up on development. Oh yeah, I was talking about Dungeon Dashers or Dungeon Rushers or whatever. Okay, Dungeon Dashers was the one that developer of Crossy Road made, then abandoned when Crossy Road took off. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to take a look because there's Dungeon Rushers and Dungeon Dashers, and they're both kind of eh. I just knew there was treasure to be found in the old world. Oh yeah, it's the same thing. And well, that's a fair bit of money. Okay, so let's get our health back. I could buy another teleporter, but I think I'll be fine without. We could get some more HP. Let's get some more HP, honestly. That's probably more immediately useful here. Okay, next up, gigantic pouch. I got the money for it. And we're pretty close to getting hard armor, too. Nice. Oops, wrong one. Okay. But yeah, Steam Early Access is like a really hard thing to manage, just in general. And I have to admit, over the years, I've grown less and less excited about games that launch into Early Access. You know, originally I was like, it's kind of the gift that keeps on giving, because that's how Vagante was, and Catacomb Kids and stuff like that. Whenever there was a new update, I'd get a burst of new viewership. And to some degree, that still happens with a couple of series that I do. Specifically, you know, No Man's Sky. Which, for all of its, like, negative press and poor handling, they're actually fairly, they're doing fairly okay. Which is a bit of a surprise to me. But, like, each update they come out with is actually, like, fairly solid. Which is cool. But nowadays, usually when I see Early Access, I see super feature incomplete, cash grab, might never finish if the sales, you know, if the sales aren't good enough. And that always scares me because it's just like, I can't commit to games the way I used to in that manner, because if I do, it means I'll have a bunch of people that are demanding updates for games that I was gonna try and get away before it blew up in my face, but no dice. But you know, I'll get a bunch of people that are like, "Hey, can you cover the new update of blank?" And the problem is, generally, I can't afford that in my schedule because there's a billion new games that I also should probably cover. Let's see. And it's impossible for me to, like, necessarily choose one versus the other. Okay, we didn't need water, we needed health. Well, I guess I could have tried, I guess? Damn it. And it's torchlight. That's annoying. Okay. Yeah, we could probably go back up. I mean, I think I've got enough money to just afford healing whenever I want it. Okay. Do I recommend getting No Man's Sky? On sale, yes. I mean, it goes down to like 20 bucks now. I think that's actually a completely valid sale. For the game. More than that, though, probably not. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. I can totally kill this guy from afar. Motherfucker. Okay, that didn't give me what I needed, but it did give me a teleporter. Yes! I didn't even expect to get a teleporter here, but here we are. Okay, let's not die, though. There we go. Alright, well, I'm super hurt, but I'm also super wealthy. That's super helpful. I'm saying super a lot. Did I upgrade anything new? I get any new things? Unfortunately, this guy stopped selling stuff after a while. I guess he sells all the, consumables. Okay, so we got improved hydraulics, so that reduces drill water drain, which isn't really as helpful as you'd think it would be. If I get that, does it heal me at full? Yeah, it does. Alright, that saves me a little bit of cash. Oh, and then I think we're just gonna have to wait. Alright, well, whatever. Still flagrantly wealthy, which is helpful. Okay. There's like tanks and stuff there. That is amusing. I'll have to find a source of water around here. No, don't. blow up in my face, damn it. Oh well. Not really the end of the world. I think we're actually... I'm not gonna say we're getting too close to the end here, but if I remember it, it's like kind of the end of this zone brings us into... I think we've got like one more distinct area after this one, and then it's actually the final boss. Where it's at the bottom of this one, I don't really remember. It's been a while. Let's see, is there any cash money that I'm missing here? But yeah, so just kind of as a result of the early access tag, whenever I see it, I'm like, I'm gonna commit to about 2 episodes of this. After that, I'm probably gonna give up and come back later. Even games like Pit People came out in early access, but I guess I should have kind of expected that, because their Battle Block Theater was early access too. So, I guess I shouldn't have expected too much more than that. No, I'm not going to be able to hit this guy. I don't like these guys. They're effectively just hit them until they die. Nothing interesting about it. Let's see. Nothing else here. Nothing else here. Alright. Oh, we get another mini dungeon of a sort. Yeah, the combat in this game leaves something to be desired. It's all just contact damage or, like, really weak enemies. Okay. There we go. Or not weak enemies. It's all either contact damage or, like, just sit... Ow, actually. No, he's gonna kill me if I do this wrong. Huh. Okay. Awkward. Oh. I can destroy some of them. Might kill me, though, if I'm not too careful. Oh, they will destroy each other if I wait long enough. Though that might make it impossible to get over there. Alright, what's this do? Because I've seen these before. Oh, gets me everything back. Okay. Well, obviously worth it. Let's see, do we have anything on the other side that was worth anything too? Yeah, we do. Zyosite, which is good stuff. Oh, there was a bypass on one section. Well, that's honestly fine. We're back up to full health, so who cares? Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna throw explosives at that guy. He's not really worth fighting. Sort of. Okay, whatever. 'Cause yeah, back to talking about things now that I don't have to focus on the game. It's interesting, the division between when I actually have to focus on the game when I don't. These new minerals will sure be great for the town's growth. I wish almost you got to determine how the town grows on top of buying all the things, but yeah, whatever. Okay, do we have everything from this guy? We should probably get dual tank. Yeah, let's get dual tank. And that way he only sells consumables at this point. Yeah? Yeah. Let's see. Could get the humongous pouch, drillatron, platinum pickaxe, more armor, reduced water drain. Let's get the platinum pickaxe. Speed digging is always the most useful. Oh, yeah. And we want to go back here. Health is looking fine. There was a game that came out a couple days ago called Epic Tavern, which actually, for all rights, was kind of an interesting game, but it was an interesting game that they released far too soon. It's one of those games where it's like, here's kind of this like neat idea for a management sim, but we're so feature incomplete, probably because we're out of money, that you get the extremely like watered down product. And it sucks whenever that happens, because it's like, this is a game that I'd actually love to do a series on, if it were done. But instead, it's just like, effectively maybe an hour's worth of content and full of bugs, and you're just like, this ain't worth it. Whoops, there goes my mushroom. I do not enjoy fighting these guys. Let's see. And it sucks, because it's like, here's a good game that I probably will never cover again. Because of how, like, its launch worked. Can I? Cool. I can't just hit that from there. I'm pretty much gonna have to use the drill. Maybe I should have upgraded the drill instead. Oh well. I'll just hit it and run. There we go. Dig up, and what do we got in here? I love these little puzzle rooms. They're fun. Wanna give me some health, boy? No. Lantern. Well, I guess we did kind of need the lantern upgrade. Nope. Shit, he's back. Wait. Oh, but I can farm him. I can farm this guy for... Well, lantern. Okay, screw it. Into the house of bounce. Oh, I love games with, like, a built-in bounce system. It is just so satisfying. Oh, what do we got in here? I don't even know. We got a secret area. I think that's actually the first time I've run into one of those. Okay, nothing else here. Now, if I'm positioned directly underneath this one, damn it. That's how we do it. I don't think they disappear, right? There we go. Okay, because yeah, we need the orb stuff. Was that really all? Yeah, looks like it was mostly for the secret zone and nothing else. Well, that's fine. Let's see. Now getting out of here is going to be the biggest nightmare. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there was anything else. And yeah, I will have to upgrade the drill past this point because this is a lot of rock, not a lot of anything else. Okay. It's going to be a long dig without these upgrades. It's a times 2 drill area too. Because I've been skimping because I don't use drill as much because it consumes water on me. Which is, you know, not the most convenient thing ever. Okay, going back to talking about early access games because I can mainly. Don't blow up in my face, don't blow up in my face, thank you. Now don't blow up in my face, there we go. Let's see. Early access games. One of the reasons why I'm like kind of staunchly against them also is like whenever a game comes out into early access, out of early access, I guess, they always get kind of ignored. There are games that will 100% like really get the attention they deserve when they finally come out, but more often than not, the game comes out and everybody's just like, eh. You know, I guess you've been in development for ages. Nice job. But while you were being worked on, there's all these other games. And everybody just kind of remembers the initial launch. Or just doesn't even remember the game when it finally comes out. You know, they spend all their money on development, and when the game properly comes out, they don't have any money for PR. Which is usually where, like, YouTubers come in, but honestly, the industry, the YouTuber industry is kind of short-term memory. Even I am. I'm usually focused on like the new games as opposed to going back to the old ones. You know, there are some like super obvious like early access successes along the way, like I mean, Don't Starve is a perfect example. Minecraft, stuff like that. Games that people can like kind of hop onto and the new patches all feel really good. I guess part of the point is you gotta be yeah, let's go Drillatron. I'd like to get the hydraulics, but I think I'd rather do more damage. Huge tank would be nice, but we're a little bit off. That from the green drips is pretty cool. Yeah, it is. Also, am I going to be playing Samus Returns? I'm not, unfortunately. As much as I'd like to cover it, it is a 3DS game, and I do not have a 3DS. If they had co-released it on the Nintendo Switch, I would have been 100% down. But they did not, much to my general sadness. Let's dig through this. Yeah, okay, that's better. Tales of Majel was launched as early access, despite being a fully functional game for years before that. How many people took notice? Basically no one. Part of it is like, the market is hard to work around. Obviously, people really like their early access survival games. And those generally do really well for almost no good reason. A lot of early access survival games get way more hype than they deserve. Tales of Majel, the main problem with that game is purely the fact that it's hideous. It is not a pretty game, and as such, it gets ignored by a lot of people. Like me, for example, I can't pick the game up because it is actually too ugly for me. I've noticed YouTube is particularly harsh. YouTube and Twitch in general, if a game isn't like actually aesthetically pleasing, I will find a lot of people will just actively ignore the game, even if it's like amazing. I follow the developer for Midboss on Twitter, and admittedly her game was, you know, just kind of passably good. A lot of good ideas, not a lot of but not enough execution to really make it worth it. But she has been kind of grumping about how little coverage she got and stuff like that. I'm like, your game was really ugly. Like, really ugly. And as a result, a lot of people just kind of give games like that a pass. I'm trying to think of, like, some other games that just were not pretty that actually really did well. Not really. Let's see. I'm trying to think of them. Like, back in the day when people's standards were lower, I think it mattered more. But I think nowadays, like, if you do not have an aesthetically pleasing game, it is gonna hurt you bad. This game, for example, I would not be surprised, actually, if this game's art style wasn't, to some degree, a huge section of, a huge, factor in its success. Because it was nice and kind of child-friendly looking. And despite the fact that I didn't agree with it at the time, I think their choice to launch on the 3DS first was probably a better idea than launching on PC initially. Even though I would have loved it if they had done a co-release, which I think they're doing co-releases from now on, because their PC audience was actually pretty good. But, like, I think SteamWorld Heist came out on 3DS first, like, fairly early. And I had to just wait, and it sucked. Oh, have not heard about Factorio recently. Is it doing well? You know what? There is a game. That is a game that is doing well despite being utterly garbage looking. Factorio is not a pretty game, but it does well. From what I've heard, Factorio does really, really well. But I think it's because it's such a weird niche game that nothing else is like it. So it can kind of survive on a market that is generally just against that kind of game. Okay. How much else have I, like, missed over here? just gonna swing by and check. Not too much, actually. Like cartoony games because they hold up well. Oh yeah, they do. I mean, there's a reason why World of Warcraft looks passable, even after all this time, in comparison to like, I mean, EverQuest 2, which came out after it and looks like garbage. Hell, I look at like Final Fantasy 15, 14, and I'm like, huh, this doesn't actually look that good. The characters and the effects look great, but the environments just feel really empty. Okay. Let's see, do I have many orbs? I don't have that many orbs, but that's okay. Is Factorio a more unique style than anything else? It sort of, I mean, the Factorio style is really just like the old StarCraft 1 style, just for a more modern game. The main reason why Factorio does well is just because literally no other game does what it does, so they can just get away with it. So we can't get Swift Pickaxe. We have enough money, but we don't have enough blue orbs. I don't really care about improved hydraulics. Let's just get the huge tank and come back for the Swift Pickaxe. Maybe not? I don't know. Am I playing this on the Switch? Nah, I'm playing this on the PC. I did hear... Did they get a... I think they did do a Switch release, but I didn't really pay that much attention. Yeah, WoW did get a graphics upgrade at some point. It did, but the general style was still largely the same. It's just slightly higher fidelity, but since it was a... since it was this, like, really nice cartoony style, it made the Switch really easily, and, you know, still looked fairly good. Whereas, like I said... Ow. Like I said, EverQuest 2 did not, and it just looked kind of bad comparatively. Am I gonna go back to Factorio? Eventually? Part of it is, like, we covered it in the last 2 versions. We effectively do 1 series per year, is my assumption. And that's probably just gonna be how it goes. So, yeah, we'll probably do another Factorio series in like a year or 2. Just by merit of that's kind of tradition now. At some point I'll probably bring somebody else on, maybe like Durf. Because I know Durf had picked it up, and we'd totally missed that part. Which made me feel bad, because Durf is cool. I'd like to get him on more things, it's just impossible to fit. Because usually whenever we do something that would fit him in, it's either not something he'd probably be interested in, or it's something that Shell's interested in and I don't want to bring another person along. Let's see. Anything else here? This got kind of acidy. Let's see. Seeing as I mentioned Dark Souls, which would I start with? I would recommend starting with my Dark Souls 2 series. Because Dark Souls 3 technically came after. I think it absolutely came after. Ow. Not a whole lot of money around here. Ow, ow, ow. I don't think I can hit that. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna hit that. Let's see. Is it just me, or is there, like, not a whole lot of money around here? There's a lot of rocks and stuff, which is kind of annoying. Let's see. And a lot of acid. Though, I guess part of it is the, as far as the money thing goes, we've got a lot more things that sell for, like, high value, so I guess it kind of balances. Okay, there we go. See, do I work with other YouTubers? I used to. I like how this game's just kind of become Q&A time, but honestly, like, I'm fine with it being Q&A time. It doesn't really need to be anything more than that, considering there's not really a whole lot going on, immediately. Okay. But I used to work with a lot of other YouTubers, you know, the whole Catterday crew and stuff like that. Originally, my goal was to kind of make, like, a large YouTuber group, and play with them and stuff like that. There's a couple of problems with, like, working with other YouTubers just in general. For starters, like, mismatched personalities and, like, expectations can lead to some serious problems. With the Catterday crew, I think people were always kind of expecting it to be more of kind of a Yogscast achievement hunter thing, where everybody was, like, super tightly knit and always there and, like, super reliable and stuff like that. And what ended up happening instead was it was a bunch of guys that would get together on weekends to play games, but not everybody was available, and we kind of picked up some new people. And then eventually that kind of became a problem. That, you know, people had different kind of expectations for how that was supposed to work. And, you know, some people kind of handled the changes well. Some people just kept plugging along, looking at you, Keith. That guy is a trooper beyond all troopers. Okay. There we go. Get another orb thing, though. Almost sent me into the drink. Oh, that's fine. But so like, half of my group kind of stayed pretty cohesive and fine. But there was, like, kind of dissension, and people didn't like how it was being run. Even I didn't like how it was being run to some degree. For those of you that don't know, we had, like, a Friday, Saturday night stream thing, and we'd all get together and play games, and it was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was awesome. But it was generally always on me to, like, put that kind of stuff together. And after a while, I got kind of frustrated with it. I don't know how many of you guys, Oh, I see. If you hit anything or you swing your pickaxe and miss, he wakes up and freaks out. There we go. But yeah, it was always on me to like, do the organization and stuff like that. And if I didn't do the organizing, I was just baseline, like, left out of everything, which, like, probably didn't matter too much, but it was kind of frustrating because I do, like, a lot of work getting everybody together and, you know, making sure that everybody had the game played and stuff like that, and then I'd like, go away for a week and they'd all start series without me, or, like, in the case of Ark, actually, we did a Ark series, and partway through, half the group just decided to start their own Ark server without the other half of us, without saying a word. That's not something you really want to go through. Wow. Explosions. Because, like, it's just not a nice thing to do to your friends. Like, imagine if you, like, had a tradition of, like, I don't know, going to sports games, and then you find out, like, half your friends have just started ditching you to go to a different sports team without even, like, asking. It hurt. It sucked. And so eventually everything just kind of fell apart. People weren't communicating, and when they did communicate, they were mostly just being mean. And eventually it was just like, alright, screw it. Everything's over. We're just gonna go our separate ways and not talk about this forever. And we're still kind of in that. I'm specifically being vague because it's like, it's nobody's fault, but it's everybody's fault. And there's a lot of, like, hurt feelings that are still very hurt. And that's why I don't play with other YouTubers that often. Because every time I try it, it usually burns me. So people have to ask to watch other sports. No, it's not. It's like, imagine if you have a bunch of people that you hang out with, like, every weekend. Invariably, you hang out, Friday night, you go watch a Lakers game. Let's just use the Lakers, for example. I don't even know if the Lakers are any good anymore. I think they were decent back when I was a kid, but I don't remember. But, like, you know, every Friday night you go out to a Lakers game, and it's awesome. And then maybe you go out to eat afterwards and stuff like that. And then, like, one week, two guys are just like, yeah, we don't really like the Lakers anymore. We're just gonna go do our own thing. But they don't really tell you. They just disappear, and they don't tell you about it. And then maybe a couple other guys go and join them occasionally. And nobody actually communicates that they've done this. They've just done it. It's interesting that the characters actually are, like, looking at me specifically. Let's check this out. Welcome, dear sir. I do believe you've been wasting away, devoid of proper commercial alternatives. No need to worry, good fellow. Looking for impeccable wares and services, Dandy Alexander is who you seek. It's about time someone bought a bit of class to this town. Do you not agree? Alright, so we can get... Effectively, it's the same stuff as usual. But it doesn't require the blue bits. Is this the in-game music? Yeah, this is the in-game music, and you can't suggest any. Sorry about that. Let's see. So we could get the swift pickaxe. It's tempting. Yeah, let's get the swift pick. And let's buy some health, because I'm hurting, and I'm probably not going to get anything new for at least a little while. I should probably get another teleporter, but I need those blue orbs. Eventually we'll have enough, but not immediately. But because the group is kind of already split, everybody starts just kind of doing their own thing. So, you know, you're watching the Lakers, and everybody else is watching the Chargers. And you're just like, okay, I guess this is just the new normal, whatever. And then one day you find out that they actually really don't like the fact that you've been watching the Lakers without them. That they actually, like, are super pissed about the fact that they are being left out on everything. And it's like, wait, this is new, why? And then they just don't talk to you anymore, and you're like, okay. And then you find out that they said really bad things about you. I'm gonna stop talking about this. This is like, I don't know, I don't like talking about personal shit, but sometimes, like... Oh, this is a giant pain in the ass. Well, screw it. I'll go with that. Missed him. Well, his aim is atrocious. I do like the attack speed upgrade though. It is nice. I'm just gonna leave a dynamite there. It should blow that out. Yeah, there we go. Wait, I think I can just hit it from here without it blowing up in my face. No, it's there we go. We got it. And we got all sorts of goodies. Nothing major though. Let's see. But yeah, I guess the other thing that I can kind of talk about... Can I? No, I can't do that. I don't know how I can get up to that. I think I know. But I might have to go get another piece of dynamite, which sucks, because I'm out of dynamite. Guess I could have lured this guy to hit it with a dynamite. Or, nope, never mind. Secret area right here. Cool. The other reason why I don't work with YouTubers that often is it's hard to find people kind of like similar motivations, and I guess I don't want to say like mobility, because that's like the dickish thing to say, because that's not true at all. It takes a certain kind of person to succeed on YouTube. And that kind of person is an extremely broad... Wow, there he goes. It's an extremely, like, broad classification. And can apply to, like, a wide range of people. But ultimately, like, you do need certain personality traits to make it work. Chief among them, in my opinion, is kind of... like a single-mindedness, and if you don't have that like single-mindedness, you kind of burn out on YouTube really fast. It's super easy to do. Like, it is hard putting out videos day in, day out. We got Steam Punch. Oh, that's neat. Oh, I can fire it up. Ah, that's how we dig some of the other stuff. Whoops, there we go. Well, that worked. Gameco. Now, Half-Life 3 soon. Oh boy. Of course. And they're all waiting for it. The sad suckers. Let's see. Well, I might as well grab the everything up. Is there anything else that I missed around here? I don't think there was. But like, how do I describe this? With YouTubing, you kind of have to have the mindset of like sticking with it regardless of how like shitty you're doing, because it is so easy to do very poorly on YouTube. In fact, that's the default. Everybody does poorly on YouTube, just kind of baseline. And it usually takes a lot of luck and a lot of planning to do well with YouTubing or streaming. I'll say both, seeing as I'm streaming right now, and a number of you guys probably might not even watch my YouTube videos. I kind of messed that up. I could have dropped a TNT barrel on these guys. Oh well. I guess I could also just Hydro Punch them. Stuff like that. But like, it takes like years of YouTubing to actually like be good at it, or years of streaming to actually have an audience. And if you don't have the patience for that sort of thing, you generally just end up being kind of disappointed, and that disappointment can be crushing. It can, I'm not going to say it can destroy you, but it can really kind of poison your mind against other people. I've gotten messages from other YouTubers being super pissed at me just for existing, because I am apparently everything wrong in their mind. God damn it. I'm just gonna probably leave them there. Wow, that thing's awesome. Holy crap. Steam Punch is the way to go. Anything else I'm missing? No, not really. Obviously, I don't want to shoot it down and stuff like that. But so... let's see. How do we kill this guy? Huh. Let's go up. Let's kill this thing. Nope, didn't work. Oh, that's okay. Didn't have to work properly. But like, you kind of have to be able to work through not just adversity, but like, you really have to be able to work regardless of how like freaking demoralized you get over how bad the numbers are. I mean, the adpocalypse, I'm not gonna say the adpocalypse nearly killed my channel, because it didn't, but it definitely like hurt my like motivation to do a lot of things. I was just like, this comboed with like ending two of my most popular series ever, it was crushing. Okay, I don't think they're going to dissolve. We keep going a little bit further. Not down. We gotta go back up. Unless I have to go down. That's gonna suck if I have to. And I've had a lot of friends that have like gone through YouTube and Twitch and kind of not failed, but like they couldn't keep up with it. That the lack of growth versus the effort put in was too much for them to deal with. Like the disparity was too big, and I totally understand that. Like, I've been there. I was there. I still am there to some degree, even though like my metrics actually feel fine. I don't know, it's always hard to judge how successful you are compared to like... Damn it. Okay, we gotta go get some water before I can continue. Luckily, we've got a easy supply right here. Let's see, why did it affect you? My stuff is family friendly. So, the thing is, okay. Let's finish the YouTubers thing first, and then I'll talk about why the adpocalypse still hit me. Because it hit almost everybody. But so, with like a lot of the friends that I've made over the years, they were really funny people. They were funnier than me, honestly. Like, easy examples are like Pocket Pack, Lost Spider, and Crafty Gnomes. They were all hilarious dudes. They could pull a joke out of nowhere and keep it running for like an hour or two. You'll be getting to the bottom of the old world soon. The end of the trail should be close. You see, beneath the old world, it would be way too hot for any steambot to dig. Not for this steambot. Har har. I get a lot of money. What should I spend it on? Oh, I've run this shop my whole life. Technology don't evolve in leaps and bounds. It's gradual. One invention enables another. Not like the things you found down there. Scares me a bit, I'll admit. I'm not saying they're not useful, though. Well, you have, then. Okay, so we've got everything from this guy, yeah? Yeah. Okay, let's go with this one right now. Preparing for another trip down to the tunnels, Sonny? Back before the war, some of us boys would sneak down and play games of dare. Some would come back up and tell stories of glowing lights and in the darkness. Trying to psych the rest of us out with ghost stories, most likely. You don't strike me as the kind scared of ghosts, though. Okay, so we've already got Swift Pickaxe and stuff like that. Why does this steambot seem so happy? Because he is rich. I keep coming back up to the surface and more or less just throwing cash at him. Improved hydraulics might not be a bad idea. It's only a 33% reduction, though. Super tank would be helpful. We could get thick armor and super tank. Let's see what the other one is. But none of those guys could deal with, you know, lack of growth, because, oh, right, more dialogue. Once a good while, he'd stay down there for good. Proved us right in the end, didn't he? Oh, he said he was going to stay down there. Still, I think the mine is where he wanted to end up. Sad to see Joe gone. Oh, okay, yeah. She just loops dialogue. Since you're here, in my store, I presume you must have impeccable taste. Okay, he doesn't have anything to say, except for Sucker Punch, which we might want to get. Yeah. Let's get Sucker Punch, and let's get the, I was really hoping the Garnet Pickaxe would actually come with an upgrade. Okay, let's get the water upgrade, as we go here. Oh, wrong one. There we go. But so, I've had a lot of friends that have just, you know, quit YouTubing because they couldn't handle, the stress, the strain, whatever you want to call it, of, you know, not growing really fast. And I want to say I kind of had a hand in that. You know, it's kind of my fault, to some small degree, just because I actually did really well. Say what you want about my style, but it is very conducive to, slow but steady wins the race. And so, you know, I was covering a lot of, like, really good games, and I've never believed in get-rich-quick schemes. That's what kind of killed my grandfather. He was a firm believer in get-rich-quick schemes, kind of no matter what. Okay, so we still need the drill to get through that. And it came at the cost of, like, a lot of my family's, well, just everything, honestly. And this sounds like a lot sadder than it actually is. You dick. But he was very much a person that didn't actually feel like doing, not work. He worked hard, but he never believed in, like, education, for example. My dad was the only member of his family to go to college. And even now, only two of my cousins, my brother and I, on my dad's side of the family, have ever been to college. And for the most part, it's kind of a family of maybe not wasted potential and stuff like that. But a lot of people that could have been someone, but because of the situation they were in, they just never really got the chance. Is he gonna fall off? Yeah, he's gonna fall off, so we'll have to wait on that one. I guess we can just power punch him. Never mind. Shoot! Ah! Okay, I'm just gonna power punch this guy from below. Ah, it did kill him. Sweet. Damn, the power punch is satisfying. Oh. I should not have stood there, honestly. Okay, well, that's fine. Nope. We need a drill for that one. I'll have to get around. Okay. But, yeah, family stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I never got into the get-rich-quick schemes that a lot of other YouTubers, I feel like, kind of get into in kind of desperation for success. You know, trying to cover Minecraft, even though they don't like Minecraft, because Minecraft is how you grow your channel, right? Stuff like that. And I never quite ascribed to that. I was like, I'm just gonna play what looks fun, and just keep playing new games, because people have got to be interested in that. And so I surpassed quite a lot of my friends, and like, I don't know if how much this actually affected them, but I've had a lot of friends who were like, you know, cheerfully competing with me, eventually kind of turned sour when they realize I've passed them, and that always sucks for me, because I'm like, I just want everybody to grow and like be big YouTubers, and so like that's the other reason why I don't touch most like collaborative business is like actually scary. Making new connections, because they might also just kind of end up souring out and or just failing or not growing, because I don't want to be anybody's lifeline. I want to work with people that, like, you know, don't need me, if that makes sense. I don't want friends that need me to be there for them just to operate. I had a couple friends like that, and that was not a healthy friendship, and those friendships always turn sour too. This has gotten, like, really dark. Dark? Deep? I don't know. It's gotten somewhere. I try not to talk about, like, the things that matter to me too much, so kind of moving away from it. Unfortunately, like, whenever there's, like, any kind of unsolved questions about the, oh, crap. I was really hoping I could, like, charge, jump, and fire it upwards for, like, a boost. But no dice. Because, yeah, there's a little bit of cash up here. I might as well grab. Let's see. Is it here? I don't know. I'm just going to keep power punching everything. Power punching is satisfying. Mostly useless, but satisfying. Well, no, actually, it's probably the most useful upgrade in the game. Let me see. I don't see anything else around here. It's kind of this weird rat's nest. But yeah, seeing as we've got one more kind of question, unsolved Wanderbot mystery of, like, what happened to space engineers, seeing as I'm on the topic of those things. I was really hoping I could get away from that in time. Oh well. Yeah, space engineers died the same way that Ark did. Sort of. Everybody decided they didn't want to play space engineers anymore. But they didn't actually tell me that. They just all, one day, I went to the bathroom, came back, and they're all like, we don't want to play space engineers anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is new. And mildly disappointing, because we just made this, like, kick-ass, cool new ship. Oh, jeez. What's with all the TNT around here? This is insane. Yeah, welcome to Wander's talk therapy. It really is. I don't like that, because I don't actually need talk therapy. It's just, like, half the time anybody has a question for me, it's about something that, like, I don't have a good answer for. Or, no, I have a good answer for it. It's just not an answer that I want to give. Okay, let's get away from that. Well, he's gone. Christ. Look at this. This is problems. I wonder if I can actually shoot the fist in the middle. Might be able to. Oh, no room. No teleporter in sight either. A lot of explosives.